Quite frankly, this is ridiculous that I even have to make a video on this topic, but for some absolute reason, some people continue to say it, and quite frankly, as I say, it's beyond stupid, right? Now, what I'm talking about here is the people that are telling me, or what are they doing themselves, is I should have done this. I should have bought this stock at 100 pence a share, and I should have sold it at 200 pence a share before it dropped back down to 100 pence a share. What does that matter? What value does that truly add to your investment strategy? It's like saying, oh, you know what? I really should have bet all of my money on the lottery numbers being 6, 7, 17, and 54. Only after knowing the fact that that was the winning lottery ticket. Is there any way that you could have known that exact combination of numbers, or known exactly why a share would have gone up before buying it and before it had gone up? Well, if there wasn't, then you're just speculating, and it would have been a gamble anyway, and it could have easily gone either way. However, if you knew, and there was a good reason, you knew that actually some of the balls were magnetic in the lottery machine, and it meant that these numbers were more likely to come up, or they were given a certainty of coming up, then sure, then you could have had a good strategy in place. However, I find it beyond ridiculous when you've got these hindsight investors that somehow believe that just because it's happened after the event, that they therefore should value that knowledge. It's fucking pointless information. The fact that Boohoo has dropped 70-80% the last year is true. What value do you gain from saying, oh yeah, Boohoo has crashed 80% of the year. Oh, I really should have bought more when it dropped to 40 pence to buy when it gone up? Because the share price itself is going to be volatile. Sure, and you could go, okay, what about your position with Boohoo, right? You're down a large percentage amount. Like, surely you've made a mistake here. What have you done about it? At least they've admitted there's something wrong with it and they should have done something else. What accountability do you have with this investment? Well, I myself know that I have made a mistake, because you could say, well, ultimately you've not made a loss until you've sold, but I have made a mistake indeed, a partial mistake here. And that's because I bought at too much of a premium of a price based on the value of the company. And that's a completely fair amount, because if I'd have bought at a good value, right, at an investment where it was close to what the actual price of the business would be if it was bought out by external, let's say private investors, then that again would have been okay. That it was unlikely that shares would have dropped 80% in the last year, and that therefore itself would have been a good strategy. But the problem is here is you don't really gain any value from wishing that you avoided a loss, or wishing that you bought a certain stock. Oh yeah, I wish I invented Tesla 20 years ago and I would have been a rich person now. At the age of 2, I should have been more than capable of doing such a thing, and I don't know why I didn't do it. I am now going to beat myself up for not doing that. You're a fucking moron if you think that there's any logic behind what that is. Unless you can quantify or qualify exactly why something had happened, then you don't get any value from it. It's easy to win Sunday's lottery with Monday's newspaper. You already know the information. Instead, I focus on what has changed. Boohoo, over time, their valuation was at a premium. We've seen a lack of sentiment through the shares due to the fact that they've had some bad negative press, and subsequently now some worse results due to the cost of living rising, and therefore a lot of costs being transferred on. This means that Boohoo's profitability is a problem, and therefore shareholders are more concerned about the longevity of the business, hence shares have dropped. So what could I have done? Did I see this happening? Well, I didn't see this from a long-term perspective, but I certainly felt that about a year ago, or maybe 6 months ago, and you could check the videos on this, that I was saying, okay, I think earnings are going to be razor thin. I don't think they're going to be heavily profitable, and I expect this will last 3 to 5 years. So call me out on this as well, and therefore, I'm going to continue buying. I'm going to continue averaging down on this investment because I believe the company is doing good things for the long-term future. Instead of going, oh, the shares are down 50%. I wish I'd have sold. Now I'm going to wait until I finally get in the green to sell it, because that's stupid as well. If you have gone all the way down, let's say you've gone 80% down on an investment, right? And you finally got back into the green just to sell it at a 1% gain is beyond stupid. Now you might go, well, why is that? You've not lost anything now. You're fine. Well, if it's had enough momentum to get all the way down from an 80% drop all the way back up to where it previously was, it would suggest that there is some strong fundamental underlying value in the business, or it suggests that there's high speculation in the stock. Either way, that's a strong amount of upwards momentum, and it's probably not something you'd want to sell just at a break-even moment. Maybe trim back some of the position, recalibrate risk, right? So you're not entirely exposed to it. But to sell your position when you're just in the green is stupid. It means that you're getting emotional over a percentage, and I don't think emotion really has a place in investing. I focus on what I missed, the red flag I made. I didn't focus on valuation, and that's my fuck up. Thank you for watching. Have a fantastic day.